back in Lawton, New York.
Now, a Saul Gonzalez report from Loma Linda, California, east of Los Angeles, about the extraordinary number of people there who live into their 90s and even 100s. Many of them are Seventh Day Adventists, thriving on vegetables, exercise, and faith.
If growing old means growing slow, well then 89-year-old Delmar Holbrook hasn't gotten the memo.
I'm really getting ready for 90, the big 9-0. My family's already planning it. I'm going to ski up at Mountain High early in the morning, come down, play a round of golf, and then head out to the beach to surf.
You're not a sit-on-the-couch kind of guy.
No way.
Holbrook credits his energy to a life of exercise and healthy eating, but also his faith.
Would you be as healthy as you are, in your opinion, without your faith?
Oh, no. I am what I am because of my faith. To me, that's just as clear as can be.
Like many other residents of Loma Linda, California, Holbrook is a Seventh Day Adventist. That's the Christian denomination that observes the Sabbath on Saturday. Adventists also emphasize a healthy diet and lifestyle as important expressions of their faith. And because of that emphasis, researchers say Adventists often have remarkably good health.
Adventists have an evidence of living longer and dying at a later age. They die of the diseases of the general population, but at a much later age, 10 years later.
Larry Beeson is an associate professor of public health and epidemiology at Loma Linda University. It's a health and science institute affiliated with Seventh-day Adventists that's been studying members of the faith since 1958.
And they get to that age
To a variety of things. It's not just one thing. It's their religious, how they relate to God and their fellow man, their diet, their exercise, their avoidance of tobacco and alcohol, their diet. All of that collectively contributes to longevity.
And because it has such a high percentage of Adventists with long and active lives, researchers have dubbed Loma Linda one of 5 so-called health blue zones in the world.
A blue zone is just an area where there's an unusual occurrence or more than what we would expect of people who live to be the late 90s, early 100s.
Diet seems to be especially important to Adventists' good health and long life expectancies. Nearly 30% of Seventh-day Adventists practice some form of vegetarianism, compared to only about 3% for the U.S. population as a whole. In fact, at many Adventist institutions, such as the Loma Linda Health Center, only vegetarian meals are served.
I do follow a plant-based diet and have followed a vegetarian diet all of my life. And I know you and all your viewers are going to look at me strangely, but I've never tasted any meat.
Dan Matthews is a third-generation Seventh-day Adventist and a pastor. We talked to him about the connection between diet, health, and religious belief within his faith tradition.
Genesis chapter 1 verse 29, it states that God gave mankind grains and fruits and nuts and herbs-bearing seeds, the initiation of a plant-based diet, to not take care of our bodies, which is a part of the stewardship of the earth. To not take care of our bodies is an affront to our gods.
I feel good. Yeah. I do. I feel energetic.
We met 73-year-old Adventist Virginia Crowns as she was relaxing in a whirlpool. She shared her diet and fitness routines with us.
I actually eat most of the time 2 meals a day. I'll eat like granola or oatmeal for breakfast with 2 or 3 fruits, fresh fruit. As long as I can remember, I exercise daily, at least 6 days a week. I walk at least 2 miles, rain, sun, or snow.
It's not well known that Seventh-day Adventism has already made its mark on American culinary history and what millions of people eat each and every morning. It's the creation and mass marketing of breakfast cereal by a guy named Kellogg.
That's John Harvey Kellogg and his brother Will Kellogg, both Seventh-day Adventists who developed corn flakes, one of the first mass-marketed breakfast cereals in the late 19th century. They saw cereal as a health food alternative to the fatty breakfast foods of their day.
Cornflakes and the other kinds of foods that came out of the Kellogg's industry was really trying to deal with the whole grain thing and not trying to throw away all the nutrients when you refine and become white bread. You're throwing a lot of nutrients away.
In our own time, as Americans search for ways to improve their diets and health, some researchers believe they could borrow some simple lifestyle ideas from Seventh Day Adventists.
Reducing your smoking, reducing your saturated fat intake, exercising more, all that could be done by anybody. They don't have to become an Adventist to gain the benefits that we've observed in the Adventist health study.
It's accessible to all of us.
Absolutely.
At the pool, Delmer Holbrook has his own advice.
You've got to keep your mind alive and continuing to grow, and your body just as much.
For Religion and Ethics News Weekly, I'm Saul Gonzalez in Loma Linda, California.
Well, our calendar this week, Wednesday is